For state rep, for state rep, for state rep. You'll be glad you'll be glad you'll be glad you'll be glad. Let's go vote let's go vote let's go vote let's go vote. Vote for Joe Kelly. Vote for Joe Kelly for state representative.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tim Judge of GreenwichLocal.com. I'm bringing Joe Kelly's show to the airs tonight. We're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube Live, and Greenwich Local. So without further ado, we'll bring Joe Kelly on. I am also the social media manager for Joe's campaign. So this is Joe Kelly's Good News Game Plan. And here's Joe. Hey, Joe, how we doing?
Hello, Tim. How are you today?
Never better.
Oh, it's another good day, and things are good. We're on the Joe Kelly Show, the show about good news and only good news. No bad news here. All those other stations carry the bad news. We carry just the good news. You notice in the background, wrong side I pointed. Notice in the background a little bit of Halloween flair because we're coming up now 3 or 2 and change weeks away from Halloween. So we're getting excited about that. Now, Tim, I see you put a mask on for the show. Thank you for that.
I brought one with me. I'm saving it for the doctor.
Oh, perfect. Oh, good. That's good. Well, we had great weather leading up to today, but the season's carrying on nicely. You got to like that. Anything really good or nice happened today to you, Tim?
No, I was going to say the good news is that the rain fell on Monday, right? Rainy days and Mondays get me down, but we're not going to have that. So we got a good show going, but it didn't rain over the weekend, and that's always good.
Oh, it was a good weekend. We went out and saw a whole lot of people this weekend. I'm really enjoying this this campaign, this getting out, seeing parts of Greenwich that I've driven by some of these roads, but I've never actually gone down these roads. And some beautiful homes, some nice people, great neighborhoods, great conversations. I'm really wishing I did this or started doing it sooner because there's just so many places to see and so many people to talk to. I'm really enjoying it. So it's all good. It's a tremendous experience. Schools are still open. Yay! Right. Good schools. We're good with the schools. So that's really good news. I know that they were talking about maybe having we talked about this a few times before. We talked about hybrid starts where we'd have maybe 2 or 3 days a week for the grammar schools and middle schools. But we went for it. We went for the full 5 days, and it's paying off. So everyone's pointing at Greenwich for being on the cutting edge for getting this stuff done. So we're excited about that. High school, we're looking down the road a little bit and trying to put plans together to make that full time as well because the kids really want it full time. I was speaking to some of the teachers recently, and it's just not the same with the sort of a hybrid situation. They want it to be normal again. Everybody wants to be normal, so it's all good.
Yes. That is the plan. Hey, I see Fred Camillo's chiming in. He said he's trying to watch the Yankees.
Oh, come on. This is the Joe Kelly Show, the show about good news. Don't give me this Yankee stuff. Holy smokes. What is the score of the game, Tim? You have any idea?
No idea. I'm too busy spreading the good news. Who wants to talk about the Yankees?
Oh, no. All right. I'll leave it at that. I'll let you say that, not me. One thing I like to bring up, Tim, that I really enjoyed was we had our local debate this week or actually last week. And it was really enjoyable. I participated in that. We first started off with the senatorial debate. That went very well. And then we followed up with the House of Representatives, our 3 different districts. We had our debates, the 150th, 151st, and 149th. And I do have to say, I am incredibly proud of all the Greenwich citizens who participated no matter what party in this debate. It was classy, nothing like some of the debates we've been seeing lately on the big stage. It was classy, it was polite. We are an example to the rest of, certainly to the presidential debating on how it's done properly. We all shook hands afterwards or fist bumps. Can't really shake hands nowadays, but it was great. It really went well. Everyone expressed their ideas and thoughts tremendously, and everyone was civil and behaved properly. So I was honored to be on that stage with those other people. So thank you for that, everyone who participated. Did you see it, Tim?
I did, and I was able to steal a couple clips, so we do have that on our Facebook page. So if you want to see some clips of the debate, if you didn't get to watch it live, we can watch some there. It was a very, very mature group.
Absolutely. But Tim, I must warn you, I'm not sure you're aware of this. There's a rule that you cannot take clips. The only clips you can take from the debate are the closing speech that you've made. So there's a rule from the League of Women Voters, because there was some questionable action, which we won't talk about because we only talk about good news here. But you're allowed. There are rules when it comes to this where you can only take clips of your concluding 2 minutes. But other than that, you have to show the debate in its entirety, and that's the rules. And we are rule followers. It's what we do. It's what I do. And if that's okay, Tim, if we could follow those rules and maybe not take those clips, because possibly you could take them out of context, but we would never do that in a good news show. So
it wasn't edited. I didn't edit it. It was bigger clips. I didn't do any editing to it, which I know that's the mainstream type of deal. So we're about the good news. We're spreading the full content as much as possible. But I'll if we can add the full stream, I'll do that. I know that some people just like to listen to their people, but I wasn't editing up and taking things out of context. No, that didn't happen.
You wouldn't do that if it just accidentally happened. That's what I mean. But I do have to say now, Fred, since our friend Fred, our first selectman, is chiming in a bit, then I will make a reference to him on something. Now, I told you I'm doing the doors, knocking on the doors, and many people nowadays have dogs. And when they sort of push that door open a little bit, the dogs come running out. And the first thing I'm a dog person, so it's easy for me to just pet the dog. But Fred told me one thing. He said, amongst other things, one thing he told me relating to dogs was, if you do not get bit twice while campaigning, you're not campaigning properly. So I'm trying to get myself bit at least twice, and it has not happened yet. But I'm really going, even some aggressive dogs that are coming at me, I'm going down to pet them, and they're backing off and being nice and stuff. So I'm trying to get bit. Have not been bitten yet. So I'll keep at that. And
you might be just a little more intimidating to a dog than our friend Fred.
Could very well be, but he is the dog whisperer, so that is what he does. He's good with his dogs. Now, Tim, you had a chance to meet Mark Sutton. Mark Sutton is going to be our first guest. Well, let's talk about our guest tonight. We've got Daniel Maddox, who criticized me for mispronouncing his name. Daniel, the intern, will be joining us in and out during the course of the broadcast. We have first guest with Mark Sutton. He'll be coming up shortly. We have Scott Bedell, Mike Pacino, and Jonathan Alexander. So we have a really action-packed bunch of great guests this evening. So why don't we go about getting started? Let's promote Mark Sutton up to our show.
All right, here it comes. There he is. Hello, doctor.
Hey, Joe.
Hello, Mark. What good news do you have for us today?
The good news is Joe Kelly, the next state representative. That's what the good news is.
There's some good news. That's always good news here. Thank you, Mark. Now, Mark is a dentist in town here, but we became very friendly for about 20 years. We played basketball at the YMCA, and we become friendly doing that just about maybe 4 or 5 times a week. It's good exercise, and he's got a great attitude out on the basketball court. We really enjoy that. Now, Mark is a unique individual, and I love his story. Now, Mark, you went to University of Colorado. You played rugby there, and then you went to another school after that. You went to stuntman school. Is that true?
That's true, Joe. That's it.
So you moved to California to the Kim Kahana Stuntman School.
Kim Kahana Stunt School, Los Angeles, California.
Now, tell me something. What goes on in stunt school? You just fall off things?
You fall off things, get hit by cars, you learn how to fight, you learn how to get lit on fire. It's all those everyday things that keep you going through the day.
And now tell me, is there a tuition that you have to pay to get lit on fire, run over by cars? What about bitten by dogs? We briefly talked about dog biting. Do you learn how to get bitten properly by dogs in stuntman school?
Yes, they teach you how to get bit by dogs. As a matter of fact, in the movie The World According to Garp, that's what I did. I got bit by a dog.
Oh, how cool is that? Now, you did that for 1 year, and you were a stuntman for 8 years, both in New York and L.A. Were you a stand-in for any unique big movie stars? And describe to me maybe a stunt or two that you performed.
Okay, well, we started. I doubled for Robin Williams, doubled for Paul Newman in Fort Apache, the Bronx. Robin Williams was The Survivors, World According to Garp. And then there was Men in Black, Splash, Ghostbusters, The Wanderers, all these famous movies that you remember in the late 70s. I know this was
nice.
before your time, Joe.
Now, Mark, I do have to ask a question, though. Now, Paul Newman is known as a handsome man, and you were doubling for him?
Yeah, Joe, lots of makeup. That's all I can tell you. It was great lighting, just like this, like I am now.
Perfect. Now tell me, you've been living in town for how long?
32 years.
32 years you've been in the town of Greenwich. You moved in here after your stuntman stint. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming this. You got to tell me, did you, while being a stuntman, break up all your teeth into pieces? Is that why you went to dental school?
Well, what I decided to do, instead of breaking teeth, I wanted to fix them. So that's why I went into dentistry.
You went into dentistry, and you joined Charlie's practice, right? Back 30-something years ago, right?
31 years ago, 1989.
1989. And you worked with Charlie Zatkin for 20-something years, 29 years, you said?
Right. Well, he retired. I worked there. We were together for about over 30 years.
Right.
He retired a couple years ago. And then my son, Sean Sutton, who went to dental school out of Greenwich High, University of Michigan, top of his class at NYU Dental School, came into the practice.
Now, it's unfortunate that you're not proud of him.
Well, I don't know. I'm just spitballing off the top of my head. I don't know.
Well, that's got to be a very proud thing, and having to work with your son in such a way where you're working together. You're both accomplished dentists, and you're good dentists and good people. I've known your son for a number of years. I've known you for many, many years, not just in the basketball court, but socially around town as well. So it's been a pleasure. Now, let's tell everybody the address of your practice and tell them a little bit about your office.
Okay, well, we're at 391 East Putnam Avenue in Coscob, Connecticut. Beautiful downtown Coscob, right next to Dunkin' Donuts. And when you come to our office, you get a free donut. But we've been around a long time. It's a family practice, state of the art with the cosmetic dentistry. And we do a lot of great stuff with all the new technology, with lasers, with scanners, with digital radiography. People design their smiles right in front of a computer. But we do a lot of great stuff, Joe.
Like this, doctor?
That's it. That's my new face mask. I love it. I love it. You come to our office and you will get a smile just like that. Beautiful.
Oh, wow. Well, that's great, Mark. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Certainly a pleasure to have you on board. And we'll certainly see you around town when they open up basketball. Now, you said you were swimming at the Y the other day. No more. When do you think they're going to have basketball, did they say?
I don't know. Pretty soon, hopefully, maybe next month. I can't wait. But nobody goes inside on Joe Kelly. Inside power. No one drives the lane on Joe Kelly.
Absolutely. And Mark, happy birthday. I understand you turn 75 tomorrow.
I think, give or take. I don't know. I lost the number.
I think it's 65.
All I know is I get senior citizen discount at Dunkin' Donuts.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, Mark. We'll see you soon. Thanks very much.
Joe.
All right. Take care. Bye. Now, that was good. Mark Sutton's great. We do like him a lot. And we have now our next guest has Mr. Diddell showed up.
Oh, yes. You ready for it?
Fantastic. Now, Tim, I'm going to steal your thunder on the reason why we have Scott Diddell. Well, you know what? Why don't you? We could not find, it's Indigenous People Day today, isn't it?
That's right.
Right. So we tried our best. We went all around Greenwich to try to find ourselves a Native American. We could not find any Native Americans. So, Tim, what did you suggest we do?
I said you got to get somebody from Indian Field Road.
That's me.
So we get Scott Diddell. Scott Diddell is a native Indian Field Road resident and has been living in Indian Field Road for some time now. So you're indigenous Indian Field Road, is that correct?
Truth is, I'm a transplant. Growing up in Manhattan, but I've been here for 33 years, so I don't need my visa anymore, you know?
Well, no, that's fantastic. Scott, you and I met, we met socially, I guess, at the Millbrook Club. We also, with the kids, because my oldest daughter, Christy, is Andrew's age. They went to school together. They played in that basketball team that that won the BBA that year, right?
Yeah, Andrew and Christy played together. And then our kids were also at the Costco Crushers.
That's right, Costco Crushers as well. Of
All
course.
my three boys played for the Crushers. Yeah.
That's right. I spent. Did you coach there? I know I coached for a few years. I coached there for about 4 or 5 years.
Well, I almost coached, but I was told to coach from the sidelines.
Of course. You added a lot from the side. But no, that was good. But you have an interesting story. I like your story. When you went to college and you went to Bowdoin College where you played 3 different sports. You played football, squash, and tennis.
Yep.
And then after that, you went on to a teaching school. Is that correct?
Yeah. After Bowdoin, I was a boarding school teacher, prep school teacher, for 6 years.
So you did that for 6 years.
Yep.
Now, what sort of subjects did you teach?
Well, I was hired to teach languages. I studied, Spanish, Italian, French, and German, so I was hired to teach languages. And then I was thrown into, coaching soccer, ski racing, and tennis. At 22, I just said yes to everything. So they had me doing the outing club. They had me doing the head doormaster for the kids. And so at 22, I had a lot of responsibility. And kept saying yes.
Well, it's good. Well, that's the story of my life. You moved to town here 22 years ago, and basically it's been like, oh, I'll do that. Okay, count me in. Okay, I'm on board. Right. And that's where we kept crossing paths. I know that I had the pleasure of spending a lot of time with Matthew and coaching him. And there's something unique when you're a high school coach and you spend 5 days, sometimes 6 days a week, and then the games, and then some of the road trips. And stuff. You get close to the players. And what a wonderful young man he was. I know your other 2 sons, Greg and Andrew, but I didn't get to know them like I knew Matt. And Matt was one of our captains, and he was an outstanding player, courageous player. And it was a pleasure working with him. And I do say, though, there's very few parents who I could put in the same category as the Didells as far as supporting a coach and a program. You guys were there for anything we needed. Thank you for that.
Well, to that point, Joe, is that I grew up in Manhattan, not Greenwich, but Suzanne grew up in Greenwich. So coming here was a gift because, first of all, I didn't have grass in my backyard in Manhattan. 2, coming here with kids that I coached them in soccer, I coached them in hockey, I coached them in all these different sports. I didn't coach lacrosse, and I didn't coach baseball because I needed a season. I needed a season off too, and so between all that stuff and just being there for the kids and just just taking advantage of the environment, it's like. If my kids had met you, we're not big baseball players, but had met you early on, I'm sure they would have played, rugby also, because it was just so much fun.
Oh, absolutely.
So much fun. And one thing that you did is that you brought fun to the sport. Not saying that other coaches didn't do that, but you made it fun, and that became Matt's favorite sport. So
fun's a high priority when it comes to working with kids. You gotta remember they're pushed and pulled and dragged and asked to do so many different things, and basically they sometimes people forget that fun is what kids really need, and that just cures everything because they deal with a lot of stress in school because a lot of people expect a lot from these kids, especially in this town. There's a lot expected of these kids, and they need a release. They need to just go out and have some fun, and that's where I really.
Joe, that's exactly true. In fact, Suzanne and I spent Suzanne and I, very much like you and Jill, have always done things in terms of partners. In terms of we did the Scouts, for example, Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. So I was a Scoutmaster for 17 years, loved it. My 3 boys are Eagle Scouts, and we launched more Eagle Scouts from this our Troop 10 than pretty much any other community around the country. Only because Greenwich has the smallest council in the country, and Troop 10 had the most scouts that became Eagle Scouts within the Greenwich Council. So by the numbers, we flew high and far. And
work with kids. We'll bring let's bring Daniel up for a question or two for Scott. Daniel is our present intern. We like having interns over here because we have all the companies going on at the house, and now we have the campaign. So we like having an intern around because this really is a ton for him to learn. Now we have Daniel on board. Daniel, you're with us, a month now?
Yeah, about a month. How's it going, Scott? It's my second time on the show. It feels like I'm the new commercial between the main programs. Put me on here for 2 minutes to say hi, and then the next one comes on.
Well, absolutely.
Well, how am I doing on the show? I'm not sure. You be the judge, but I'm doing great. I'm doing great. In fact, Joe didn't ask me what the good news was. The good news is we're one day sooner, one day closer to Joe getting elected. That's a good
news. There we go.
Sure. Can't wait for that victory party.
Daniel was out with us all day long because he coordinates. Because I lose track of the houses. I'll go to them 2 or 3 times because I just love talking to everybody. And Daniel says, no, that's the 3rd time you've gone to that house. And I'm like, okay, thanks, Daniel. You got there both the first time. I said, all right. So he helps us out on that one. And, and he's a rugby player as well, Scott. So he's
Nice.
He's a player on the team, and I found him to be one of the best and brightest from Greenwich High School. He's part of our team now as far as the campaign goes. He's learned a little about nuclear side of things, and he's a little curious on the real estate development side of things. And Scott runs Scott, tell us about your business. He runs a financial coaching business, the Dell and the Dell.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I started the firm with my dad 35 years ago. And we came into the financial world from the perspective of being a coaching team and educating clients about what the financial what products are out there and how they can use them for the best benefit. And so we design strategies that are suited exactly to how it should work for you. So no 2 people are the same. Daniel, you're young. Joe's a little less young, and so there'd be different game plans for different people. But the key thing is that we've worked with people for 35 years with the idea of telling them, pay yourself first, save money. If you make $1, save a dime. And that's how we started 35 years ago. And we're still saying the same thing. If you make $1, save 10 or 15 cents, pay yourself first, and then pay taxes after that. Then
I'm a little cheap, Scott. I still have my first communion money. So I just
I do too.
Perfect.
I have all my silver coins.
at least 10 cents of that $1 I got for my first communion. No, that's always good advice. Great advice, actually. Daniel, you have any more questions for Mr. Diddell?
I don't. I just wanted to add, in my month with Joe, just like learning about the business and the campaign, it feels like I've gained 15 years of experience. It feels like I've grown like at least 5 years just as a person.
Wow.
So yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have facial hair.
I can't grow facial hair. I'm 17.
Excellent. Well, good.
Well, Daniel, welcome on board.
Thank you.
He's part of the team now, so it's good. Well, Scott, thank you for joining us tonight. Great. Thank you for being the indigenous Indian Field Road resident that we can use to handle this day. Now, let me, Daniel, I've got to demote you again because I'd like to possibly, if Mike Pacino has arrived, maybe I could have him with the come on with Scott, because Mike Pacino is going to be the represent all the Italians in the town of Greenwich this evening. He's I'm sure he's had a couple of limoncellos already, but if
not the vino, Joe, we're ready to go.
Oh, perfect.
Absolutely great. Now everyone knows who Mike Pacino is. Mike is working with us on the campaign. He had served 4 years as a state representative back a few years back, and it's an incredible learning experience I'm having right now, and it's an honor to have somebody who is so experienced to help me through through this whole process, and it's a whole lot of fun. Now, Scott, do you know Mike?
Only by hair don't. By hair.
You guys work at the same harbor. Same harbor. Okay, good.
God was very kind to us.
Excellent. Right. Shape. I tried shaving it off once, and
that's right. Only a few of us can pull this off.
See that?
Oh, absolutely, that's the case for sure.
We are aerodynamic.
Scott, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Nice job. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
So, Mike, big day for the Italians today. We're at the flag raising this morning.
Here. There it is.
There you go.
Our pin on. We're ready to go. What a great day.
Oh, the flag raising was nice. The ceremony around it was really good. Being an Irish guy, no one has ever invited me to that before. So it was quite good. They were talking about the history of the Italians in Greenwich, the year. And I tried to do the calculation. They were saying that all the stonework, or many of the buildings and many of the walls, were built by the Italian immigrants in the late 1800s. And so I did the math, and I figured, well, the potato famine for the Irish was in the early 1900s. So it must have been the Irish handing the Italians the stones to build the building, and the Italians were running the show, and the Irish were running the stones from the pile to the building. So that's how the immigration process works in our wonderful country. So tell us, Mike, some wonderful things about being Italian in Greenwich.
Well, first we have to say Felice Cristoforo Columbus. So that's Happy Christopher Columbus Day. We had a beautiful day today. I'm finishing up a wonderful bowl of gavadil with meat sauce.
Ah,
That was fantastic. Red wine, we're all set. And we had a wonderful parade today in New York City, virtual, obviously, but a parade nonetheless. And the best part was their mayor, Bill de Blasio, wasn't invited. So it was a good day. The Italians were strong in their resolve. And the governor was there to celebrate Christopher Columbus Day. It was actually the Grand Marshal, Cuomo, and a good Italian man. And he dedicated a statue in Battery Park to Mother Cabrini, who was voted as a nun, she was a nun, but then she was canonized in 1946. I'm just reading it off here. But she is the patron saint of immigrants. And what a wonderful thing to have a statue of the patron saint of immigrants there in Battery Park, accepting all of our immigrants. My grandfather came over to the country in 1917 at 17 years of age and started our family. And a funny story was when he was on the boat, he met another gentleman and they became friends. And it was about a week to get over to America. And when he was told by his father that his uncle would meet him at the boat. And the only thing he knew was that his uncle had a mustache.
Oh, no. A mustache.
So he spent about 6 hours in line being hungry, getting rolls. And when he got the rolls, he was going back to meet his friend that he just met. And the boat turned down Hell's Gate, and there he saw the Statue of Liberty. What did he do? He got so excited he dropped the rolls right into the river. Oh. And that was the end of that. And a guy was coming up on a boat, and he had a mustache, and he thought it was his uncle. He kept screaming to him, "Come over here, over here." So we're very proud. It was a wonderful day. Congratulations to B. Crumbine, a beautiful ceremony for her. I'm sorry I missed it. We had a little bit of a family issue, but she's a well-deserving woman who's done so much with the relations between Greenwich and the village of Rose, Italy. Beautiful woman, wonderful husband in Peter, and we couldn't be prouder.
Absolutely. Wonderful day. We went to the St. Lawrence Club for a little bit of coffee and some quiche.
The quiche, Tony DeVia's quiche. Boy, you can't beat that.
There was no hesitation in going with the meat over the vegetarian. I saw the meat.
I go right down the line. I had one, and then I finish up again for dessert with the meat again.
Well, we're going to bring Johnny in because I think the Haitians and the Italian always get along.
Always.
So come on in and join us, Johnny.
Hello, Johnny.
How you doing? Of course,
fantastic.
We can get along with many, especially the French, but yes, the Italians as well.
Johnny gets along with everybody. Johnny, tell us some experience you have with the Italians. I know everyone loves Italian food, right?
Oh my gosh! As a matter of fact, my girlfriend, she is Italian, and how welcoming their family has been, it's unlike anything I've ever met. And this is coming from a welcoming person myself, and so that has allowed me to think that. Yes, Italian people are the most welcoming, inviting, and friendly people in our community.
Well, that means a lot because I've met Johnny's mother, and she's the nicest lady. And she's so welcoming and so nice. And Johnny has been just a breath of fresh air to have around with us. I know our relationship goes back about 4 or 5 years. And it was a pleasure working with you as well. And we're good news for us is we're still working on a project, myself and Johnny, to fix things that have possibly gone a little wrong with our wonderfully welcoming town. Sometimes there's a hiccup, and I really love when there's a slight little issue that might possibly happen, but it's taken on and overwhelmingly taken on by positivity, and that's what I think we're creating by addressing this situation. So working with Johnny on that, and it's all good.
Of course.
Right there, buddy.
Yeah, most definitely. And kids are going to be kids and situations happens, but I think what's most delightful is that when these situations occur, we allow the community an opportunity to show how great we are. And I think this is exactly what's taking place. And I'm excited to continue working with Joe Kelly on making Greenwich an even better place than it already is.
Thanks, Johnny. I do have to jump in here for a second because a news flash came in and I forgot and I have to mention it. My wife, Mrs. Coach to you, Johnny, is half Italian. And she insisted that I mention that in our Christopher Columbus portion of our show tonight. So Jill is half Italian. She says in her little message to us, she says, I'm Italian. So she'll be Italian for the day. She's Irish for St. Patrick's Day. I know that it's a unique thing for us Irish with St. Patrick's Day, where all of us aspire to be the Grand Marshal for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And no Haitians or Italians are allowed to apply. It's basically for people who are 100% Irish. So one day, that's one of my aspirations of all the volunteer work and anything I contribute to the town of Greenwich. I hope one day to be recognized by being the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade down Greenwich Avenue.
We'll make that happen.
Most definitely.
Someday. I think, Johnny, will you do that for me? Will you arrange that?
Oh, that's a big ass asking for a parade, but of course.
Excellent. Well, guys, we're limiting ourselves to a half hour. We could talk all night. I know Tim usually comes in with a really stimulating question near the end of the show. Oh, here he is now. Tim, what do you think? What do you got for us tonight?
Well, we're talking about all this excitement and parades. Now that things are loosening up a little bit, COVID shut us down right at St. Patrick's Day. We lost the parade this year, so it could have been an Italian conspiracy. I don't know. They shut it all down and they open up for the Italians. So I don't know. But good news is we'll be back next year, and maybe Joe, you'll be leading down the route.
Well, Tim, I think we have to, and this is a perfect segue into the major announcement this evening. We are having a car parade on Saturday, 12 o'clock in the ferry parking lot. We're having a car parade where you dress up and decorate your car in your favorite Republican representative wannabe for the 150th district. Maybe put his name on the car. We'll have signs there. We'll put streamers, decorate, all that sort of stuff. That's we're having the Joe Kelly parade. Now we have the Joe Kelly show about good news, but Saturday will be the Joe Kelly parade. So that's so we're looking forward to that one.
Yes, that's gonna be fun.
Excellent. 12 o'clock noon down at the ferry parking lot. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Johnny. And thank you, Daniel, for joining us on tonight's show. Tim, did I leave anyone out?
I think you got us all.
Christopher Columbus.
And Christopher Columbus as well. And also Scott, our indigenous Indian Field resident. So, yes. Thank you very much, everybody. Great show. Thank you. Good night.
Vote for Joe, vote for Joe, vote for Joe, vote for Joe. For state rep, for state rep, for state rep, for state rep. You'll be glad you'll be glad you'll be glad you'll be glad. Let's go vote let's go vote let's go vote let's go vote. Vote for Joe Kelly.